Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. That's your gate to YouTube, where over 100,000 shows have been watched. As all of you know very well by now, and for several years, we've really put a high emphasis on introducing you to various judicial candidates, and we check people out with the panel first to make sure they're okay, because there's very little that can be more important if you have to appear before a judge. I mean, that can affect your life, your livelihood, all kinds of stuff, your personal freedom. And it is a pleasure to have somebody who does come very highly recommended, Judge Jack Callahan. How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, my pleasure. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I grew up out in the South Suburban area in Worth Township. I went to Marquette University. I graduated in 1985 with a Bachelor of Science in Accounting. Right after I got out of Marquette, I did have a long desire to go to law school, so I went right to law school at Chicago-Kent here in Chicago. And I graduated from Kent in 1988. I worked for approximately 1 year for Price Waterhouse doing tax consulting, but I always had a desire to be in the courtroom. So I was fortunate to be hired by Cecil Partee when he was the state's attorney of Cook County. And I started working for the state's attorney's office in 1989. I left the state's attorney's office in 1996, having gone through most of the different groups at the state's attorney's office. I was in the gang crime unit for the last 2 years before I left in 96. When I left in 1996, I went to work for a small 8-person law firm out in the western suburbs, handling primarily transactional work, civil litigation. We would do some trucking work, and that was some of the work that we had done for a number of years, and tax issues. Smaller firms, smaller businesses, individual type clients. So it was a great experience for the 14 years I was doing that type of work. I'm married. I have 2 children, a junior in high school and a freshman in high school, and we currently live in Western Springs.
Very good. And you are actually a judge right now.
I am. I was honored to be appointed in September of 2009 by the Illinois Supreme Court. I had gone through about a year-long evaluation with the Supreme Court and an evaluation committee that they had formed. I also went through the Bar Association with all the different bar associations, the CBA and the Alliance, during that same time period. So I was honored to be appointed in September. I love the job so far. I'm down in traffic court, where I sit primarily handling misdemeanor, DUIs, and other traffic-related matters, as well as minor traffic stops that are city tickets, speeding, stop signs, red lights.
Yeah, I have to make sure of those.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
So you're enjoying it, obviously.
I really love it. As I said, I was with the state's attorney for about 8 years, and I enjoyed working at that time, unfortunately, in most of those situations with the victims of crime. But I enjoyed the one-on-one contact and trying to be a solution or a help to a bad situation. After working in about 14 years in the civil practice area, I had a desire to go back into public life. And I always did have a thought about potentially trying to become a judge. I had many outstanding mentor judges when I was a young assistant state's attorney. So I saw a lot of good judges. I saw some judges that I hope I don't take some of their characteristics with me on the bench. But it was something I always wanted to do, to serve the public and to have an opportunity to try and create solutions for folks, whether it's on a civil type of case or whether I may find myself sometime in the criminal courts. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, very good. I want to wish you luck along those lines. So, I mean, you're not technically allowed to really campaign.
You know, I'm out meeting people,
Yeah.
is what we can do. And fortunately, I've been in a good position that I have gotten from all bar associations, the Chicago Bar Association, and the 10 member bar associations of the Alliance of Bar Associations. I've been found either qualified or recommended by each of those organizations, and I'm very proud of that. And a couple of the evaluations have been since the time I've been on the bench, and there's already been some nice feedback that I'm honored to have received from colleagues, people who've appeared before me, commenting on my temperament and my understanding of the law. So that's been a great resource to know about.
What is your punch number on the ballot?
I'm punch number 166. I'm in the Dan Kelly vacancy. I'm the first name that the voters will see in the Dan Kelly vacancy.
And do you have a website?
I have a website. It's www.judgecallahan.org. There's a lot more information about me on there, my support I'm getting, my evaluations, and some other information that the voters might find useful.
Right. Judge Jack Callahan, we hope you'll vote for him come Election Day.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.